Ed says we got,
That's the best sound I like.
we gotta try to catch up to that guy. He'll just keep going.
It's one of those buttons, one or the other.
At one point in time, Brad said, hand me the pole.
Who had it?
Why hand me the pole?
Your grandson?
Yeah. Why hand me the pole as soon as he did, fish went airborne and, hook came out.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, okay, thanks, Dad. I'll give you the pole next time.
Yeah, so,
But, spaced up there, and
Well, we have a quorum, I think, don't we?
yeah, I think so, because we're technically just missing Leon, I think.
Okay, I didn't, oh, because of the vacancies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, I think, right? Wait,
Yeah,
we missing what?
just Leon from.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
you wanna, have you started it yet?
Yeah, I started it, so. So, we might as well get rolling. Thank you all.
Do we have copies?
I've got, what do you want? Everything?
We're gonna read off.
Okay, here, I've got
I'll have an agenda too.
agenda, action item list. Oh, wait.
Oh, you got,
But wait, there's more.
future item list?
No, I've got the prospectus
Oh, yeah, the letters you were.
the thing. Here, but it's like, I think it's 8 pages, so.
Minutes from the May meeting.
Oh, I didn't print those off.
Oh, what is that?
No, these are the 7 and then a blank. Okay, so here you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't print off the
You
minutes.
want a copy of the minutes from the May meeting?
Yeah, I might as well, if in case there's any edits that I need to. Thank you, Don. You came more prepared than I did, because here, I'll give that to Judy and then John and I. Do you have a copy, or do you need a copy of the I only have one more, so I need it.
I'm good.
We're good enough.
Whatever your question is, I'm good.
You're good, yeah, thank you. All right,
see it.
so,
I can see it.
oh, okay, good. So, calling to order, the agenda look good to folks?
Yes.
The minutes from the last meeting, folks had a chance to read it, any corrections, edits?
I didn't think they were up.
I attached them to my email.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to look them over quickly?
Documents on them. I think I did look at them, but I was looking for some other ones and I went, my God,
Here, Will.
why aren't there minutes up here from March?
Oh, that's May, was our last
No.
meeting.
Well, I'll make the motion to approve that.
All right. Don
I'll
seconds.
second that.
And all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So
I saw somebody.
we have no public. So next up's Friends of Park Lake report, Judy. Judy's here today. Whoops, here comes Leon.
I'll do that, is that all right, Ray?
Oh, yeah.
Good evening, Leon.
You're gonna get demerits because you're late.
I will say just quickly that a few weeks ago, the Friends of Park Lake asked the township board what it would take for us to get a beach ahead sign on Park Lake Road before you approach the beach. I received a notification, a letter from the road commissioner that said that signs like that will only be posted if they require the driver to take an action, and beach ahead does not require the driver to take an action, it just alerts them, and so he wasn't gonna support that. But he is installing 2 crosswalks, one at the beach by the creamery and one at the fishing pier to Wishwasher Park, and that's as a result of our walking audit that we did with the road commissioner in May. Last night, we did have the board elections for Friends of Park Lake, and there were 7 board members elected. And we had to cancel the summer solstice event because of the weather. Thank you.
So you had the elections. Do
Of the board members for Friends of Park Lake.
you want to say who they are?
Sure,
or-
Ray was elected, myself, Race, Jan Dirksen, Meg Ritchie, and
second.
Sherry Killerman,
Jan Dirksen.
and Dwight,
And Dwight.
and Dwight.
7 total. Do you have 7?
That was
So, and Meg. And so I'm gonna say, so you got, is Ray president?
No, the
Or are these just
officers are elected by the board at their
Okay, so-
first board meeting
okay.
after they've been elected
board
to the board.
elections? So
The
it's
board
Ray,
elects.
Judy, Race, Jan Dirksen, Dwight, Meg, and Sherry Kellerman? did you
Sherry
say?
Kellerman, yeah.
Okay.
And the next Friends of Park Lake community, board meeting will be in July. The next community meeting will be in August. I'm sure you'll all get a notification.
Okay, good. Thank you, Judy. Yeah, no, the weather was unfortunate.
Oh my, we couldn't stand out in this heat.
No, no.
It's just
no,
not humanly possible.
Too.
Thank you.
Too much.
At one point in the past, you had mentioned speed cameras. Did they ever,
Had mentioned what?
speed cameras?
Speed cameras. We had suggested several initiatives to the road commissioner, and his position at this point in time, at this point, is that the crosswalks are what he's going to do, and he hopes that the traffic will slow down. So we did talk about several strategies. Ducks, isn't that one of them?
Yeah.
Ray?
Bullards.
Do you remember some of the other strategies that we
Yeah,
discussed with
speed
him?
bumps, you know, that kind of stuff. But that was about it.
I was just curious.
And-
I had somebody come up to me at well over twice the speed limit around the lake and then pass me in a no passing zone.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
that
had him do that
happens.
about 3 times right in front of my house.
Happens all the time to me.
You
I mean, and-
law-abiding citizen,
it-
you, how dare you?
The majority, when we ask people how they feel about the strategies, the number one strategy that they discuss is enforcement of the speed limit. That if the Bath Police Department would enforce the speed limit and start writing tickets, people would slow down.
I never see them out there.
They believe that their presence in the neighborhood is enough influence to slow people down.
Guess where I saw an officer sitting yesterday? About 5:30 PM. You know where, if you're going west on Ann Drive and you have to turn right to go into Hawk Hollow, he was sitting right off the road, on the dirt at Ann Drive, facing east. I almost didn't see him. I went, oh, that is a cop.
Yeah,
Never seen him there before, ever.
so.
I feel good about getting the crosswalks. I think that's an important strategy, and it's a good way to get started, and it shows, you know, at least that level of support from the road commission to understand that the problem is an issue in the neighborhood.
Now, we wonder what kind of signage they're gonna put up for you know, some of them have flashing lights, you know,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Hasn't been any vocabules on that yet.
You know, Don, did you want something to say, or you just?
No, I'm just, I'm taking it all in,
Okay,
doing my best.
good enough, good enough. So, oh, Sherry's not here.
I wanted to tell Judy that, Manir brought a bike down to my house that was broke, that was to be used by Tokai. It needed to be fixed.
Tokai brought you his bike?
Manir brought me Tokai's bike,
Oh.
and Raga, the younger brother, was using it. And when a bike stops working properly, he pedals through.
Oh, yeah.
He broke the
The
derailleur.
derailleur,
He broke it right off the bike.
Whoa.
I didn't neglect to say that the Friends of Park Lake is hosting a family bike ride on Saturday, which registration is at 8 o'clock at the gazebo. People will be done by noon. There's an 11-mile round trip and an 18-mile round trip. The destinations are the Alpaca Farm on Howe Road. They're one taking a longer route, but to the same destination. And riders are encouraged to make a $5 donation to Friends of Park Lake for hosting the event.
Is it all road or is there somewhat dirt?
I'm sorry, can't
Is it
you?
all paved?
Yes, yes.
Good, good. I think actually one of our random friends, I think, is taking part in that. And she's out in Portland, I think, so just, I don't know how she heard about it, but, no, good. All right, so next, water level report. Do you have Stuff to share. After our 3-inch rain. I don't know if
Yeah.
you checked the water level.
I was gonna say, Leon's got beachfront in front of his house now, I noticed.
Frequently.
Almost all the way up to the cherry tree.
Yeah.
Neighbor's rain gauge showed 4.5 inches during that.
That's what my rain gauge showed 3.
Yeah.
So you were on the rainy side of the lake apparently.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know how accurate.
Officially, they said 3.062.
Really?
Yeah.
In a couple hours that morning?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it came.
And it
I
was
mean,
a
I heard
really,
it, I didn't get up.
it was a really narrow band, and we were as far north as it was, and it went down almost to Jackson, but not quite.
You know, it freaked out my dog.
So we are right at the full level, aren't we?
Again,
Our cup runneth over, as they say.
How long, when did you take this, John? Was it after or before the rain?
after the rain.
Oh, it was, okay.
Otherwise, it would have been closer to the previous
Yeah.
mark.
Yeah. So
That's very good. Only 2 years that has been higher than this.
Yep, although it seems, there's a few years where it seems right around early July, there's a spike of course, the screw the 4th of July, so.
Well, I can tell you what happened to water clarity.
Did it go down
Oh, yeah.
Took a dump, yeah.
with all the runoff?
Water clarity, what measured 5 feet
Wow, that's about the lowest, among the lowest.
yesterday.
You say get it out there in the channel?
Yeah. Was in 19 feet of water.
Okay. I'll make
That 2013 measurement, so it just floors me every time I look at it.
Yeah,
When we used to try to, where Don lives now, we used to try to walk all the way across without swimming.
yeah.
Almost could do it.
Yeah, so, good, well, thanks, John. Wonderful stuff. So, I think that really the main agenda item I wanted us to take up was the Park Lake Trail, trail issue. Here, let me just get myself organized. Oh, I didn't go through the action item list. I don't think there's anything really other than the trail. I haven't checked if the health department's been doing E. coli yet.
I haven't either. I,
Oh.
in fact, was interested in that, but.
And then,
I heard a radio story, I don't know which lakes, but there are several lakes that are having problems.
That are having problems,
with
yes.
this kind of rain often washes in a lot of E. coli. Well, the goose, I've seen, I saw the few geese on the beach the other day, but I don't think they've been as abundant as in the past. And then, I think, those of us who live on the lake, the signs, the lake was treated fairly recently, and it has knocked back everything. Like,
Really?
everything where it was treated, there's still a couple beds of milfoil I've seen, but like, it seems like a lot of the lilies are very much thinned out. Not that that's the target, but
Right,
I think whatever weather, whatever's going on, it really knocked it back where he treated. I don't know. Like, I've been noticed down in the canal, down by your house, that I don't know if he treated down. I don't know if he treats the canal or you have
He
it privately
does it
done.
for private.
Yeah.
well,
I didn't do it this year because it
Are you done with that?
doesn't do me any good.
No,
so, when he sprays, I mean, does it sink, or what does it do?
it's a liquid that he sprays, so
Right.
it mixes with the water and depends on the wind, and
That's what I'm saying, because we had that strong wind, maybe it blew around and actually got more stuff.
I think it might have. Yeah, no.
When he came in on me and started spraying, the neighbor, JB, was mowing his lawn and he had to get out of there.
Because it was windy
He said he
enough.
could, he said he could, smell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shortly after that, he just put his nozzle right down into the water.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know how many individual homeowners asked Steve to spray?
Yeah, I
In the
don't.
past, he's told us that,
Yeah, I don't recall truthfully.
yeah.
Probably give him a call, he'd tell us.
I did notice that it knocked down my lily pads.
It'll kind of give us
Yeah.
a good
Almost
idea of the
immediately.
percentage of the lake that was covered by
Mhm.
homeowners.
Well, I saw him do mine, and I saw him go down and do, what's her name, right on the end there, Gary and,
Gary and Mary?
yeah, I think he went
Oh,
down there and did their.
Schaefer's, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, over there, okay.
Yeah,
On
so,
the north side.
yeah, so anyways, that's the action item list. I jumped over that, but actually I didn't even have it on the agenda, it looks like.
think we took a Sekidus measurement that day too.
That Phragmites problem I see at the top of the action item list, everybody's got Phragmites now, so.
Yeah, I took photos of, there's a couple locations on the dike itself, and I think I indicated last time that the SISMA had changed in personnel, and then the timing, and then some of it's private, and they didn't have time, you know, and I don't remember if I emailed the new person or not.
Yeah.
It's treated in the fall as the normal, so.
You can look at that if you want, I guess.
Pardon?
The water clarity test so far.
Oh, so it's been 5, 6, and then the 8-footish. In the past, we've had a fair number of 12s, so it's.
Yeah.
This year's been fairly turbid, I've noticed. And I think some of it might be with the plants being knocked back.
I remember one year I set that disc on the bottom in 16 feet of water and saw it.
Yep. So this year's a little different.
So you had this is kind of a different topic. This is Lake Monterey, going backwards.
Yeah.
You had a test last week?
Yeah, I collected chlorophyll and it gets turned in next week, Tuesday.
Right.
I'm available to do that, to turn it in.
I also will be available if you want me to do it. It's
Okay.
not a problem, because I gotta turn in chlorophyll.
Oh, the phosphorus?
Phosphorus.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll coordinate with you, because I have like a meeting that
Yeah.
morning.
It used to be you know, I'd go in there and talk with somebody and about this, that, and the other, and now you go in there and you put it there and then walk away.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably
So-
from a COVID practice that just got, okay. I'll coordinate with you to get that.
Okay.
Thank you, Don.
Good.
That'd be, help me. I had another meeting come up that was gonna be running like tonight from one thing to the
Well, whenever that stuff is ready, I can pick it up if you want me
Okay.
to, so.
Sounds good. Sitting in my freezer.
Well, there you go, it's
That's where it
ready.
should be. The chlorophyll samples get frozen, by the way, folks, just. So, why don't we talk about the trail? I think everybody knows, but just to make sure we're all on the same page, the May 6th meeting that was here, with the Board of Trustees, basically asked for a kind of a new and improved, revised, clarified, whatever word you wanna have, proposal. And since then, kind of just for openness, I chatted some with Jack Phillips and I chatted some with Ben Zeeb to just get more insights into various things, so that I don't think it really shaped a lot of what I did, but it kind of helped me see some of the perspectives there. So what I did is I took the most recent, I think what was the most recent CIP proposal and kind of changed it. The one thing that's changed since then is the Eagle Nest really requires different thinking on a parking place, because building a parking lot under an Eagle Nest is not something the Fish and Wildlife Service really is going to encourage or look favorably upon, let's say.
I've seen it done before.
It has been done before, but I think the township board of trustees would be very hesitant to be the ones to initiate that. So the first question, did everybody receive what I'm talking about? I guess, my Cliff Notes summary, and I think the end is, what actions do we, I put down what I thought were the actions, but I wanna have us approve it in whatever fashion we do, is kind of between all the issues with kind of, the right-of-ways and that, and the Eagle Nest, I think the best option would be for the township to engage with Oak Island to see if the parking lot that's within their, kind of development, if that could be, kind of some agreement noting that it's used, and then from there, the trail really starts at that end, and people can walk to wherever. That would be inexpensive, because there wouldn't be new parking. The township can do what they want, but they might be able to kind of, in quote, sweeten the deal, offering for a porta potty or something. The couple things I had, I think specific for Friends of Park Lake, in the notes here is, I think Friends of Park Lake is already kind of, I don't know if we have an official letter saying you're willing to do the signage. So we'd like that letter of support or commitment. I don't know if I had another point where I
You
want.
did about, maintenance.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, and then the maintenance, whether Friends of Park Lake could be willing to commit to some partial maintenance on that.
I'd just be afraid to commit to a dollar amount
Yeah,
each year because you
It
don't
may
know what's gonna
vary.
happen, but,
You're talking about Friends of Park Lake?
and then, yeah. I mean, you got the signs committed and all that kind of stuff already.
yeah,
I mean, I think without a dollar amount, you could say that the Friends of Park Lake are interested in helping out to the extent that they can.
yeah. Something like that I think would be great, just again, to have that community support behind this. So that, you know, kind of, if that were to pass, and again, based on some of the budget Judy had, you know, I don't know what a porta potty is, that to me is an optional. The signage is kind of an in-kind kind of contribution, and I think the cost of the wood chips really was actually fairly minimal.
5,500 US.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Yeah, and I talked to Ben some time ago about the possibility of, instead of wood chips, put down reclaimed asphalt.
Yeah, yeah, and again, you know, I think, you know, the hard part, in my view, is the board trustees, like, they want a rough budget, but then they want a detailed budget, cause then if we put wood chips versus crushed asphalt, it's different, and it's like, you know, what do you know, do you want us to basically be an engineering firm to spec this all out? It's not gonna happen that way,
Well,
so.
and they've, on the same note, they have told us, on no means are you to ask for estimates on behalf of the township.
Yeah, so,
That's staff.
anyways, I'm using, you know, what Friends of Park Lake put in, and I think if they wanna, that can be a discussion, but I think, again, it hinges a lot on the parking lot, the real cost, and I think that's the course I'd suggest first, and if it's a no, we,
So parking lot A on here,
I mean, look,
which is your alternate if the Oak Line doesn't work.
I put, yes, parking lot A would be the backup.
Right.
That was in the
And
original.
And how does that deal with both the right-of-way and the Eagles? Is that,
So that's far enough from the Eagle Nest to be feasible. And the right of way, from what Ben told me, is their kind of best information, which, you know, it may entail another bloody survey. But his legal understanding is that whatever, road, trail, path, whatever goes over the culvert, half is the township's.
okay.
So,
So I would suggest you've effectively dealt with the two problems, that you mentioned that in this paragraph. You say that this
Oh.
parking lot A
yeah,
does not,
Okay.
it's taking into consideration that will not disturb the Eagle's Nest, and that it doesn't impact the right-of-way discussion that we know is still ongoing. That gives it more strength, I think,
okay. So.
because it wasn't clear to me when I read it.
Okay, so does not impact Eagle Nest.
And did you supply different maps with this too?
No,
I was
again,
gonna say, cause that, you can't see anything on that.
that, in a hard copy print, it's not good in digital, it's colored.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, you can enlarge it too.
I couldn't, yeah, the other thing, printing, what happened, the comments shrink everything. I forgot to turn the comments off, but the comments help me figure out what so,
Do you have any sense of how
Yeah,
many,
my computer was confused by that whole thing.
oh, okay.
how many,
And I just note, go ahead.
how many parking spots both A and B would provide?
So I'm just guessing probably 4 to 6.
4 to 6, half a dozen at the most. You see where
Okay.
you have the trail here?
Yeah.
It actually, you can see it right there, up there.
Oh,
It actually goes way up there, so you can see it in the trees.
I'll
right
have to
there.
look at,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll
Because
double
you're
check.
putting it
that.
right through that swamp in the center that way.
Oh, yeah, no,
We don't wanna do that.
No, I think somewhere I said it,
We've done it before.
Yes, we have. That used to be a really good place to get fairy shrub too, that little swale.
yeah, I can move that line, I just, I think I just drew a straight line, cause.
Yeah,
it's good at it.
yeah, a
so-
max of about half a dozen at that.
So, the one near the water control, I would guess 4 to 6, the other one I think would hold 6 to 8.
So again, I put that in there, with a thing, we don't know what without knowing the actual requirements of a parking space, this is what the estimate.
I'll put approx.
Right.
Okay.
Ray, do you remember, would that parking space be where the old road used to be?
Kind of, sort of.
So there's somewhat of a roadbed there?
Well, it's all grown up where the road used to be.
Yeah.
And I, were you at my presentation? Well, anyway, I brought it out and said that, I'm not accusing Mr. Termy, because he was in the audience, of moving the road, but this road has been moved. And, because the surveys that, actually show that it's been moved.
Yeah, well-
And the legal document states that we're supposed to have access on this road.
Yeah.
So,
So anyways, but there, I think there's also what leads to the water control structure.
and
There's that
we talked about
compacted.
making that into a little more parking too, just open that gate and some cars could go through.
That would be where I envision
Yeah.
having the actual, because there's no legal argument against that. spot.
Correct. You go through
That's-
that gate, you're on township property now, and you're on the county easement as well.
So good suggestions, Leon, thank you, to clarify that, those are potential impediments, but we've considered them and
Right.
they are.
And the last thing question I have is on the trail, when you say quarter mile in length, what's the width of the trail?
Oh,
10 feet, I would say.
I don't remember, I'll have to look on
Oh,
what.
you mean the actual surface, is that
Well,
what you're talking
no,
about?
he's
Yeah?
talking for the wood chips, and
Oh.
that was in what Judy
Yeah.
had.
Right, so again, that might be helpful to just put in
Yep.
a guesstimate of that.
Yeah, let me see where that,
Page 5, bottom.
Did it say quarter mile or 8 mile?
So
It's more than a quarter of a mile.
about quarter mile.
It's a quarter of a mile just for the proposed boardwalk. How come I have 4 to 6? What did I do with 5?
okay, yeah, that's good. I think that was again what it was originally, so.
Okay, thank you for doing that.
I'm trying.
Pretty much.
Okay.
And I'll get you that letter.
So I just have a question. I know this is in response to the meeting that we had on May the 5th. What is your intention with this proposal?
So we were requested by the board to develop this now. That's my secondary thing, We can submit this as a recommendation from the Park Lake Advisory Boards in response to a Board of Trustee request. That's how I would title it. The other part though is we just got the CIP
I was gonna say that.
call, and I need to talk to Ryan whether they wanna have it go through that, or, cause the problem as I see it is, we've been told clearly, we don't start like negotiating with Oak Island, but for a CIP, we would have had to have that already in place, I think, so I'll talk to Ryan to see what they want.
This is the format exactly of the CIP.
I
It
know, I
hasn't
use
changed.
that.
Yeah, it hasn't changed,
No.
And it's a lot of work, this represents a lot of work, which doesn't have to be redone. My concern is, if it isn't in the pool, right now, we have 2024 budgeted $50,000 from the township, but if this isn't in the pool, the CIP pool, when 2024 goes away and they still haven't spent that money, in order to get the next $50,000, do we need this document?
Yeah, and that, two things, I don't know,
Right,
and secondly, this, isn't 50,000, so it doesn't meet the CIP minimum. I don't know I don't know if it's 50 or
Yeah,
20.
this is not-
$20,000 is the minimum.
Yeah, and this doesn't even meet 20,000.
This is not a lot of money.
No.
Well, I don't have the budget page, so.
Yeah.
No, there's not a budget place, but it's laid out to be,
Yeah, I do have a thing that says budget, which was approximately 5,500, if they just do the wood chips.
Oh,
yeah.
And the parking gets done, through Oak Island. It's all this,
right.
if this, then this, so.
right,
I understand what you're saying, we don't want it to be lost in the CIP cycle,
right.
but right
But it
now-
doesn't meet the threshold of $20,000.
And
So the
this-
township board could handle that on their own.
Yeah, and I think, some of the impressions I get, and it's not a broad one, is, lower budget right now would be more favorably viewed by the Board of Trustees, cause they've got other budget issues. The thing I don't like, it's like, well, if we do this, we can't do this. It's no, they're not mutually exclusive. They're just saying, what's the priorities? And
This is a pretty simple thing and a pretty cheap thing.
Just get
and-
started.
And I don't know why it would be a problem.
yeah, it's
Signage.
just whether the parking could be done at Oak Island would be the impact. And that's where I think the in-kind, for the signage, that's nearly 100% match. Community, and I think again, if it were to go to Oak Island, it's saying for your residents, particularly children, this signage will give them a real, educational opportunity right in their backyard.
So somewhere in this, you might even mention that the total cost is far below even the 50,000 that's already been allocated.
Yeah. Yeah. So, should it be in the writing or in a, like, a presentation?
In the cover letter.
No, I know,
Or,
right?
Well-
or right in the,
I guess I would argue that I wouldn't wanna tell them, that it's gonna be less because I've already allocated 50,000. If,
For this particular proposal, though, it is, not for add-on.
I don't understand what you're saying.
For this, what he's proposing to do here, it is less than $50,000. But the 50,000 was allocated because it wasn't sure what was gonna be done with the $50,000. And what steps and everything else. This is a new proposal.
Okay,
kind of
I think that it's gonna be a lot more than $5,000.
Right.
It could be I would just say it's gonna be between 10 and 50,000.
So in the cover letter
Yeah.
so.
or email.
It just depends on
So in the
who they
cover
have to do it
email,
and
I'll
all
note
that.
that we have been responsive
Right.
to the concerns about total budget, and note that we have strived
Strive.
to,
Strove,
strived or strove,
I think.
striven.
Strove.
We've tried our
We
best.
tried, yeah.
It's like Porky Pig, but
And I would, in my experience, I would ask them a direct question. What is the next step? How can we move forward? Ask them a direct question, which they'd be required to answer, or should answer,
It
but.
really is hinges on Oak Island, which we
Right.
can't be involved, so we can't.
Well, Ray's had some positive experience with Oak Island and
I've already
easements
drafted a
and,
letter in 2021 to them.
No, I remember, but again,
Right.
we've been told we're out of that loop, that's their ballywhack, so I agree. We wanna say, we are willing to help in any way to facilitate this,
what are your next
but
steps?
they have to ask us, they are the drivers.
Yeah.
That's how this politics works. Okay, so I will do that. So, other discussion items, or does this kind of meeting what we're trying to get it done?
No, I was surprised it was so simplistic compared to
Well,
other things.
as you remember, as that meeting, the Spicer was a $3 million proposal with, piers and wetlands and this and that, and then it went down and down, and now that, again, the Eagles kind of changed just the configuration kind of entirely, so, but there's been other impediments, so I think simpler sometimes is better.
No, I agree, it's just great, that's great.
So there are some edits. Do people wanna see my edits, or trust me to edit and send to Board of Trustees?
We trust you.
We trust
When is
you.
your intended, submission?
I
So,
wanna get it quick, because I'll chat with Ryan, if they want a CIP, we need to get that quick. So my intent would be, if we approve it tonight, I'll try to edit it through this weekend and get it to them next week.
because the next time the board meets is July 17th.
Yeah, I wanna get it to them before.
Right.
Then.
I-
Do have another question, but
No, I was gonna make the motion, so go ahead.
yeah, so the other question, at one time, there was the Parks and Rec Committee, now I don't know what
It's just
group it
called
is.
Recreation Committee.
The Recreation Committee, and whether they wanna sign on or not, or timing. I haven't, I forget who the chair is, he was at the May 6th meeting,
Adam Montry.
Adam Montry. Do you know how to spell his last name?
MONTRI.
MONTRI.
TRI?
Aye, yeah.
Okay, and I'll probably chat with Adam to see, you know, how to deal with that, you know, cause at one point, when it was CIP, it came from both our group and their group, but it was long enough ago, their group had a different name, different people, so, my intent though, and again, I'll chat some with Ryan, but it's just, we're proposing this, and whether we get additional support after the fact, great.
Right, I think that's
I
reasonable.
think that's, because, as Judy said, the board's meeting, you know, mid-July, and if we can get this to them ahead of time, and I will send it directly to all the board members, so there's no lack of communication.
They're not meeting till mid-July, or we're not meeting till?
They will not meet again until July 17th.
So, and then I think we've got a potential next meeting, July 17th. Wait, they meet on?
Yeah,
So
it can't be.
it must be the 15th. It's
Right,
that
okay,
Monday
15th.
that week.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, because we meet the 17th, I think.
Yep.
So Leon, you're gonna make a motion?
And I move that, this board, authorize you to send this letter as edited by you.
Okay,
Second?
so we got a first, second.
It said that's proposal, not letters.
Yeah, so all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, well, thank you, folks.
Thank you.
And I will get that out.
Very nice job, Dan. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks.
And I'll get you the letter, the other letter.
From-
If you wanna, join it with.
It'd be nice to have
Yeah.
that, again, that community support, I think, helps. Yeah, so I didn't have any new business. We've talked a little bit about monitoring and that. Again, the kind of the macrophytes in the lake have, like I said, really gotten knocked back. The milfoil, it's funny, there are a few spots that it's still very abundant. I think, as you observed, Leon, it was pretty windy, and it's been windy coming from the west and the south. And the spot where I fish, where it's still abundant, is in the most southwest corner, where it would have blown away from that corner, even if he treated it, so. But by and large, the lake is much lower in weeds.
One quick question about whether it's old business or new business. Has there been any further communication to you about the open position here?
Oh, yeah, you weren't here. So Ryan, gave me a call I couldn't take, so he left a voice message. I called back and left a voice message, and there are apparent concerns that are unarticulated.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
I'm,
Yeah.
it's still open, and I'll chat with Ryan about what the concerns are, whether it's him personally or the board is broader, I don't know.
Okay.
I just,
That's fine.
I am confused why it's taken so long. Again, we're just an advisory board, so.
It's fine.
I'm-
As long as they're communicating, that's fine.
Yep, yeah, communication's a good step forward, right? We appreciate that.
Theoretically.
So, with that, I think our next meeting, originally we were gonna try to meet every other month, but we've got enough, I think, going on, we'll at least schedule it, and
Yep.
if things, if we need to cancel, because I think August won't work for me, so we may need to do our budget request in July, because it usually comes out of our
Okay.
August meeting.
You'll, tell us when that,
I'll
Date-
send
date will
you
be- okay.
stuff about that.
Thank you.
So, all right, so with that,
motion to
Sounds
adjourn?
good.
motion to adjourn, or? Oh, 7:45.
Thank you.
I saw an animal on my deck, I couldn't figure out what it was.
Thanks for the, water level, John.
At first I thought it was a raccoon or something, but it didn't have any